warning about the consumer, the health of the consumer, the mindset of the consumer. This is really exciting stuff. And I use a word warning, but most people wouldn't take this as a warning. They would think it's just news, information, whatever. But you see, we're getting ready for a real estate crash, right? It's already started. Rents are coming down around the country. Home prices are coming down around the country. There's still some locations where there's crazy people bidding up things because they believe their agents, saying that home prices always go up. They're believing their lenders, saying that don't worry, you can refinance at a lower rate pretty soon. But look at what's going on with inflation. Prices keep going up. Even today's inflation report, CNBC saying the Federal Reserve is going to have to keep rates higher for longer, and they may have to raise even more. Okay, so you are going to see people just go completely bonkers later this year. So I'm going to share the story. It's out of Fortune real quick. I'm doing a 40 hours, not 40 hours. I can't even add. Don't learn from me. Joking. I'm doing a 28-hour sale for Leap Day and Leap Year, Leap Day, whatever you want to call it, for the How to Prepare for the Real Estate Crash course. It's 75% off its normal price. It's down below, okay? Here we go. Wells Fargo study highlights increasing anxiety among U.S. earners. We're not getting as much utility out of our money as we used to. We're moving into this domain where money isn't viewed as a tool or agent to prosperity. It's viewed as something that's very limited and that needs to be held close. We are in a moment, everyone, where we are moving into a hyperinflation. The government is printing money like you wouldn't believe. As a matter of fact, a video is coming out on this channel or Ninja channel later today that a bill is being proposed that you will get up to $5,000 in a tax credit just to shop American, okay? The government is out of control. They're spending so much more money than they have. Rather than just going, well, we'll just tax, instead of taxing our people, we'll tax China. Say, you know what, we're going to put a tariff on stuff, you know, like what Ronald Reagan did. And we'll make stuff out of the country be more expensive than American, and Americans will buy American. They're not doing that, okay? They're printing money into oblivion. We're moving into a slight bout of hyperinflation. You are going to see fireworks right after this next election. And what is happening right now with the consumer, they are looking at money differently. We are seeing gold sales rising, silver sales rising, even though the price may not reflect it. Hey, I got to tell you, gold's sitting over $2,000. It's a healthy chart right now. I am impressed. Before the world figures this out and the mainstream media goes, yeah, you got us, market's crashing. Good news, we already sold all our stocks. When all the simpletons figured it out, and everyone goes and rushes and panics, I want you ready for this. And I want you ready in a big way. Foreclosures, you're going to see in June, foreclosures not tick up, they're going to jump up because of something called the Dodd-Frank Act that held banks to a higher standard or a harder standard to be able to go and get foreclosures and get them back on the market. So it's taken them longer this time with all the forbearance that we went through a couple of years ago. But most people don't see it. So check this out. Again, out of Fortune, the consumer is getting more anxious, all right? And when they get anxious, they start to panic. And when they panic, you're going to see home sales increase because you're going to see a flood of inventory hitting the market. At a time right now, the bonds are going up, rates are going up, people don't want to buy. We're talking just in the last couple of weeks, right? We've just came down a little bit because the Fed faked everyone out. And you're going to see an anxious consumer panic. All right. Says amid high prices, rising interest rates, and ongoing recession fears, 3 out of 5 Americans are worried about their financial future. A new report finds that has translated into many cutting back on spending, some to the point where they're making their money work in today's economy, leaves little room to consider significant life decisions down the road. So what happens when consumers stop spending? People lose their jobs. Okay? And we're seeing this in real time. You're going to find the facts out 3 months in the future when companies come out and say, we've just sold a lot less crap. People aren't buying our crap. So we're going to have to fire people. 2023 was the year of layoffs. 2024 is the year of quiet firing. I've been doing stories on this. I just did one yesterday on this channel or the Economic Ninja. I don't remember. But the point being is that it was Denver, Colorado. I did the story. They're Parks and Rec. They are saying, we're not laying anyone off. We're just cutting you all down to 0 hours because they don't want to have to pay your unemployment. They want you to leave. 2024 is the year of silent firing, quiet firing, because companies know how bad they now have to pay on the back end of everybody's severance packages, their unemployment benefits, and things like that. This is what happens when the consumer stops spending. We've seen Walmart, Target, Lowe's, Home Depot come out and warn everybody. The consumer has changed. Their mind shift. We've been reporting on that for a year, and now we're seeing the facts. Now we're seeing stories about their anxiety levels. See, I want you to have a clear mind and an open vision for your wealth creation when everyone's panicking. You don't need to be part of the problem. You need to be part of the solution. That's why I built that course in the first place. We're changing thousands and thousands of people's lives, and I'm not joking. And how did I get them in? I gave them a guarantee. I said, hey, within 14 days, if you haven't watched more than 50% of the course and you don't think it's going to change your life, then you know what? Let me know and we'll give you, refund you 50%, 100% of your money. That's my guarantee. Get them in the door, change their minds, and we're going to make them rich. Because I've been through all of this before, twice, 2 economic cycles. This is my third, and this is the big one. Third time's a charm, baby. And this is it. First one was a .com crash. Got out before that one by the hair on my chin. I mean, I was bad. I was close to losing money. Got out in 2005, the real estate crisis, and now this one. I'm waiting for this one, and I'm going to absolutely dominate it. I built up crypto, precious metals, cash, and I don't want to do it by myself. I honestly want to take 1 million people with me. And I believe I'm going to. I believe that we're going to have 1 million students. That's it. This is now my business. Teaching people around the world to be more successful than they ever dreamed possible. I just ran into a young man, well, he's like mid-30s, named Jesse, that said he never believed he could buy his own home. He now owns a rental and has an LLC all set up, and he's making 17% cash on cash. Where can you make 17% if you're not in some crazy, risky private equity deal? Tell me. He took the course. That's where he's at. Jesse, I hope you're watching this. Let everybody know who you are down below. That's where I want you to be. Fortune magazine's telling you now the consumer is getting anxious. It says right here, Americans are much more anxious now than they've been in the past about money in general, says Michael Lynch, head of advice and planning for Wells Fargo. They're worried about it. They're focused on it more. This is coming out from Wells Fargo. While those results may seem at odds with consumer spending data that remained healthy throughout last year, which I'm telling you right now, a lot of it's cooked books, you're going to find out. It's really interesting. The government's actually lying to you by just manipulating data. They're omitting information, which is a lie. In a court of law, it would be considered a lie. Although people, get away from around that all the time. Hey, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. So why don't we just feed this dude a bunch of Epsom salts, his hand get all fat, and try and shove it into a glove? Oh, it doesn't fit. Must not be him. And then he goes on, makes money writing books of, well, if I did commit the crime, this is how I do it. Oh, man. See, that's where we're at in this world. Type 1 if you think this world's gone absolutely nutball. I'm just curious, how many people? Type 2 if you think, no, things are pretty good. This is normal. I'm living life. I'm loving it. I'm curious, out of the people that are typing 1 right now, this is what I would like to know from you. Are you getting ready for this? Type 1 and yes, or type 1 and no. Are you getting ready for the clown show and you're going to absolutely sweep the streets? You know all those videos where you see hyperinflation around countries and there's money in the streets, wheelbarrows of money? During that time when all the simpletons, the morons, the people that just listen to news and I'm going to take everything in. Those people, during those time, were losing all their money, and the wealthy people were grabbing it all up. Why? Because they had a wealth exchange. Their gold was revaluing, their real estate was revaluing, everything. They were moving money, just like all of the greats right now. Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, and Jeff Bezos. And I don't call them great because they're great people. I call them the greats because they understand cycles and finance. And that's where we've got to get you into that mode of thinking right now. So the question is this: Wells Fargo's out there warning you that the consumer's getting anxious, and anxious turns to panic, and panic turns to opportunity. End of story. Are you ready to take action now, or are you ready to sit back on the sidelines? Look, we ran this sale for leap day, leap year, whatever, February 29th. It's good for another like 26 hours, 25 hours. It's down below. The link's down below. 75% off the real estate crash course. I'll give you a guarantee. Watch less than 50% of those videos in 14 days. I'll give you your money back if you don't think it'll change your life. But if you've got an idea of what I'm doing, you see what I'm doing, and you know that there's more content coming out on that course throughout the year, you get in now at this price, you're in. Everything else is free. And this economy changes. So will the teachings. I hope you got something out of this. The economic ninja, or is this real estate ninja? I don't remember. This real estate ninja is out. Let's do this, guys. I'm going to crush it. And you guys are too.